What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
I'm going to use this chance to learn it so I can tell him about it when we next encounter each other.
Though he dislikes when Guy brags about it, he doesn't mind doing it himself. Whatever, I guess. To realize that Diablo will be selfish toward anyone other than me, one simply needs to consider his attitude up to this point. Without the aid of Wisdom King Raphael-san, even I could comprehend that. Guy would be the victim, so I won't have to worry about it. I can ignore it as long as I don't become involved in it. Diablo has continued to act in the same manner as previously, therefore it appears that my concerns about him were unwarranted. I would continue to count on him as a capable subordinate because he has completely managed the evolution. In addition, there was additional detail that would subsequently be revealed. Venom, his second-in-command, and the 100 demons he commanded received an evolutionary gift from Diablo. But even if it was only my intuition, I had a hunch that Diablo concentrated his power on the gifts. I wasn't sure if it was possible or not, but if Diablo could pull it off, I wouldn't be surprised. Diablo would have believed that one must work hard to develop their own strength rather than having it bestowed upon them. Venom, on the other hand, also appeared to have something to offer. He had appropriately evolved into a demon peer. Nevertheless, he was neither as competent as Testarossa nor as terrifying as Moss and Veyron. It wouldn't make sense for someone who had long held the title of strongest to lose to a newcomer, would it? They belonged to the same class as their fellow demons, but the difference in their status was fairly obvious.
It's undeniable. I'm only recently arrived and haven't even been around for 100 years. Even to be compared to them is not fair.
Venom had made this claim on his own. Venom, a member of a late modern species with limited experience, seemed to be a unique individual. Given that he was born with a unique skill, there was a possibility that he was a reincarnated person with an unusual destiny. He has no recollection of his prior existence, but occasionally he recalls terms he shouldn't know. He had claimed that anytime he viewed items related to Japan, he frequently experienced déjà vu. Well, it made sense that he was unique if he truly was a reincarnated individual. However, Venom was aware of his status. Even if he had reached the same degree of evolution as Testarossa and her peers, he did not act irrationally or with contempt toward his coworkers. After seeing his evolved capability, he appeared to have comprehended the differences between his abilities. Experience was more significant to a demon than magicule count. He told me a story as I was in the middle of thinking that this child was very decent.
Actually, ever since I first challenged Diablo-sama, I've been taught the real distinction between our skill sets.
Although he said it in a cheery manner, he is still an idiot, doesn't he? It appears that there was a reason Diablo liked him because behaviors like these are frequent among his close circle. But even so, it ended up being beneficial. He would not repeat his blunder after having gained knowledge from his experience. Even if he ever did go out of control, Diablo would undoubtedly handle it. Even if they were those who were under his authority, Diablo had no patience for individuals who did not know their position. Venom had the appearance of being a man who could grow from his mistakes. Then there were the other recipients of gifts. In reality, when they first entered the culture capsules, they were still building their bodies. As demon chevaliers, 100 such corpses were born. Devil chevaliers were people with power on par with that of greater Majins but below that of archdemons. They had developed into such ferocious creatures that they could dispatch greater demons with a single strike. Simply put, they were a very high-spec existence, yet Diablo showed no interest at all in them. He made them all under Venom's command. He prioritized being able to move with ease while defending his position under my direct supervision. I was certain he hadn't changed after all at that precise moment. Even though Diablo had improved and surpassed me, he remained Diablo. The executive's rituals for evolving have now come to an end. I was relieved that everything went smoothly. But the celebration of the victory was still going on. I acknowledged those who had performed well and thanked them for their efforts. And so it went on until only the sober were enjoying themselves. Next time, there would be an all-inclusive banquet. I would take pleasure in today's feast while looking forward to that moment. Unfortunately, Jane-san had already left, along with the other two Wings members. They apologized and said they had to rush back after the ceremony since they had some essential business to attend to. Next time, I hope they'll take their time and participate in the festivities. Additionally, I was concerned about partygoers who were overindulging in alcohol.
In any case, I'm not a good match for Benimaru-sama. I was aware of that right away.
Gabwadano, you're also really attractive. Just look at me, my hero, Alva-sama, killed me. Beastmen are people who prefer the powerful. They seek a partner who is at least as good as themselves. Additionally, If a man is powerful, he can have as many women as he desires. That's how it should be, but…
Phobio Dano, you are powerful enough already. I could have gotten between those two if I were more powerful.
You can call me Phobio if you want. You are also powerful enough. It's just that it's the wrong comparison. There is nothing I can do about it because I can't defeat them either.
Phobio Dano, no, Phobio. In such case, just refer to me as Gabwa.
Gabwa.
Phobio.
Hey, I have to stop watching this. I won't get upset because I'm an adult, but this is not the place for you two to go on a romantic date. Having said that, I suppose it's okay if two rejected people end up getting along. Love is a truly enigmatic concept. I chose to accept the situation as is. Thus, the celebration went on as planned, and the night was spent in good spirits. As a result, our nation saw the birth of new lords. Despite the rules prohibiting them from using the title, Demon Lord, 9 of them actually had the same power as awakened demon lords. There were also 3 primordials. We should be able to deal with any unforeseen scenario unless something unexpected occurs. I'll refer to them as the 12 Chaos Guardian Lords, since I've given each of these 12 the title of Lord, even though some of them also went by other names, including the 4 Heavenly Kings, or the Elite 10. The title, Lord, has legal priority. This is because there was no intention to replace its members, in contrast to the other positions. A lord is essentially a permanent executive because they are immortal. They should be kept out of day-to-day operations in the future and should only be involved in emergencies or times of war. They had their own life expectancy, but Rigurd and Rigger, Gobta and Muirmiles, among a few others, were brilliant executives. It was nevertheless necessary to treat generational and permanent subordinates differently. Although it wasn't an urgent problem, it would need to be discussed later. Gobta was the one about whom I was worried. He was still a top executive, and he surprised everyone by being both resourceful and powerful in battle. He cheated with Ranga's magic wolf unification, to be honest. After this evolution, Ranga would grow stronger, but I was confident that Gobta could handle it. Gobta was in fact a unique species of being. He has not changed in look since being named. He may have been right when he said that talent leads to evolution in his sleep, and Gobta's standing had been secured with his reward. Gobta received a lot of attention because he was in a position to be closer to me than other executives. It may have been the best reward by chance. This is what I was thinking as I observed my pals enjoying the feast. Anyway, it seems that after the world learned about what happened that day, I became known as Rimuru, the Chaos Creator. I chose to accept this new moniker since I was aware of all the things I had done.
Volume 14 Interlude-1 Celebration of the Outrageous Victory, Part 1.
Jane was present at the party and saw the horrible event. One by one, Demon Lord Rimuru evolved his minions to become true Demon Lords. Oh no, this is not possible. No, I'm not having a dream. Jane was so shocked that she was speechless. Although she was aware that Demon Lord Rimuru was problematic, this situation was far worse than anything Jane could have possibly anticipated. Jane had come here with the intention of asking Rimuru how he planned to deal with the primordials. Even Jane had faith in Rimuru. However, a primordial existence was not one that could be simply accepted. They have the potential to upset the world's power balance once they are released. And this war had in reality demonstrated that. 940,000 members of the Imperial Army's elite were completely eliminated. The fact that Rimuru was on their side was fortunate, but there was no way of knowing if they would be able to keep that alliance going for the foreseeable future. Jane arrived here as a representative to assess the situation and how things were progressing. Her greeting was met with a natural response from Rimuru, who didn't appear to have altered since their previous encounter. Jane then grumbled somewhat rudely. She was going to watch Rimuru's response to her complaints to see what he was thinking. The outcome was a failure. When Rimuru saw Jane getting angry, he not only adopted a contrite demeanor but also sincerely apologized by stating, "I'm sorry." Then, Rimuru's description of the situation, which can only be described as an excuse, made clear that Diablo was the one who had carried out this action alone.
Is this Diablo the same as Noir, the Black Primordial?
Oh, it appears to be. I'm not sure why he's so close to me, but I didn't know that either.
Rimuru bowed his head in perplexed agreement after that. She could only comprehend that he had chosen to take in the demons without understanding what they were because it didn't appear like he was lying. Jane knew this wasn't an act because of her previous experiences. If so, Rimuru had no other options, no matter how much she whined. Even more important, Rimuru was not to blame. Jane was relieved to learn that her concerns about him becoming conceited due to his power were unfounded. This was a bad idea. She ought to have given him a more harsh warning at that point. Even if the primordials' conversion to his followers was a case of force majeure, mass-producing true demon lords is just plain evil. No, Rimuru most likely didn't intend any harm. Perhaps he was confident that if a problem arose, he could manage it on his own, and he didn't mean to make trouble for Jane and the others. A normal approach might lead one to believe he was posing a threat, yet he must not have had that goal. Given how harshly he had been attacked for the primordial problem, he may have even come to the conclusion that he could no longer conceal anything. The information was shared in a sincere and trustworthy manner. In such case, Jane was also partially at fault. She should have imparted some common sense to Rimuru earlier. Whether or not that was conceivable at this point was irrelevant, it was too late. The distribution of power in this world is. As she pondered what would occur next, Jane was on the verge of passing out. Without incident, the party continued, and one by one, his minions were getting stronger. They showed a steady influx of power. Without a doubt, in just the last several hours, Tempest's power had grown tremendously. In the heart of the Great Jura Forest, far away from the Empire of the East's danger, a massive military state was about to be established. When Jane came to this realization, she regretted putting off solving this issue. But even if she had those ideas, we are helpless in this situation. Even then, it was decided that there was no sense in thinking about it because there was nothing we could do. King Gazel also made the decision to postpone this issue, although there will not be a resolution in the future. If so, then the conflict with the Empire was still raging. Rimuru had maintained contact with the Imperial Army, which was still deployed. The next strategy was to coordinate an immediate assault on the Empire's capital. Jane had first traveled here in order to set up such a meeting. Even so, never in my life have I been so perplexed. They are no longer even an empire at this point. The birth of the true demon lord must be announced to King Gazel. Jane briefly considered acting as if she hadn't noticed. It would be a distraction from reality, but it also made sense. However, it was she who had pressured King Gazel to explain why he had withheld information regarding the primordials from her earlier. Jane had no right to remain silent as a result.
Dolph, I'm returning first.
No, why? The meeting, which was the major reason for coming, is set to take place tomorrow, right?
If only you came. We could still look good. I'll use magic to get back home. I don't need a bodyguard.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Sanketh Chelu, Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, I Like Anime, Ray Perez, Chris Guzman, Havox, Speed Saber, James Waters, Arijit Das, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Justa Guy, Misael W. Hernandez, Benjamin Villar, Zach Rossan, Byron, Jason Martin, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, John Charles, Godman Gaming, Akon Engok, Markithian Tidwell, Andre L. Hamilton, Adrian, Kumo, T-Bush, John L, Tojam, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Dirty Old Hobo, Gonsei Direco, Thomas, J, Christ, Juan Ignacio, Joshua Cousins, Vethelny, Lunel Scarlett, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Destiny Smith, Panda Cats, Aaron Alarcon, DeAndre Nance, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Ruben, Luis Caro, Yuki Iki, Pedro Robles, Kamal Ebanks, Chris Jr., Isaac, Shadow Wolf 660, Koala King 93, Devon, Little 95, Coyote de Peza, Quilly Buckner, This Is Not My Username, Zephyros, Alver, Normal Defate, Joshua Andrade, Jaya Keshav, L, Gary Miles, Nobody 0034, Dragon Spawn 666, Alex Gomez, J Rule, Sayonori, Alfredo Renteria, Liel Tiram, Liron Sangkap, Eric Tass, Christopher Mash, Edward Garcia, Echo Tski, Sri Nanduri, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Louis Strutter, Charles Bailey, Funky Junkie 22, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Nick H, Andre Hamilton, Jason Torres, Sesh, Guy Ansley, Simon Road, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Stabby Cakes, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Von Joseph, Deriha Skerte, Jackson Early, Carl Stephen Bernadal, Tank Bailey, Gareth Hashimoto, SPT Mighty, Steven Madison, Kim Man, Fazli Topador, Pioneer Midlowski, Mam Wang Min, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Tandang, Marl Barsha, Sedney John Romantizo, Jacob Philip Samson. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.